In this video, we can discuss about pharmacology of anti-leprotic drugs. So here we will discuss the definition, classification, mechanism of action, adverse drug reaction and uses and applications of different anti-tubercular drugs. So from the name itself, we can understand these are the drugs which are used to treat leprosy. So what is leprosy? Leprosy is a granulomatous infectious disease which is caused by Mycobacterium leprae and which will primarily affect skin, mucous membrane and nerves. And the important symptoms are light colored or red skin patches with reduced sensation, numbness and weakness in hands and feet. So that is the symptoms, and Mycobacterium leprae is the causative organ. So in this we will discuss the different drugs which are used to inhibit the Mycobacterium leprae. So these are the different classification of anti-leprotic drugs: sulfone like dapsone, phenazine derivative like clofazimine, anti-tubercular drugs like rifampicin and ethionamide, and other antibiotic like ofloxacin, moxifloxacin, minocycline and clarithromycin. Now coming to the first drug, that is dapsone. It is also known as diamino diphenyl sulfone or DDDS. What is the mechanism of action of dapsone? Dapsone will inhibit PABA incorporation into folic acid by inhibiting folate synthetase. So the antibacterial action of dapsone is by antagonizing PABA. So this is the reaction which is involved in the synthesis of folic acid, tetrahydrofolic acid. When para-aminobenzoic acid, when combined with the pteridine by using dihydroterate synthetase, it will form dihydroteroic acid, and this dihydroteroic acid is converted to dihydrofolic acid by dihydrofolate synthetase, and this dihydrofolic acid is converted to tetrahydrofolic acid by dihydrofolate reductase, and by using other precursors it will converted to thymidine, purine, and finally by using purine and pyrimidine it will use for synthesis of DNA of Mycobacterium leprae. So by using dapsone, it will inhibit dihydroterate synthetase enzyme, thereby it will inhibit the conversion of para-aminobenzoic acid to dihydroteroic acid. So that is the mechanism of action of dapsone. Now coming to the adverse drug reactions, hemolytic anemia is the important adverse drug reaction of dapsone. Then gastric intolerance like nausea, anorexia are frequent in beginning and then it will decrease. Headache and paresthesia. Cutaneous reaction which include allergic rashes, fixed drug eruption, hypermelanosis, phototoxicity, that is the important adverse drug reaction of dapsone. So we have to educate or we have to advise the patient who are taking anti-tubercular drug dapsone that better to avoid contact with the sunlight after taking dapsone. Then it may produce a sulfone syndrome, usually developed 4 to 6 weeks after the starting dapsone, and it consists of fever, malaise, lymph node enlargement, then jaundice and anemia. So these are the adverse drug reactions of dapsone. Now coming to contraindication, dapsone should not be used in patients with severe anemia. Now different uses of dapsones are: it is mainly used as an anti-leprotic drug for the treatment of leprosy to inhibit Mycobacterium leprae, and in combination with the pyrimethamine in chloroquine resistant malaria. So these are the uses of dapsone. Now coming to the second drug, that is clofazimine. Actually it is a dye with leprostatic and anti-inflammatory action. So the mechanism of action is the clofazimine will interfere with the template function of DNA, and also it will produce an alteration of membrane structure and transport function, and also it may cause disruption of mitochondrial electron transport chain. So these are the mechanism of action of clofazimine. Now this is contraindicated in case of early pregnancy as well as in kidney as well as liver damage. So it must be avoided in these cases: early pregnancy, kidney and liver damages. Now coming to the adverse drug reactions of clofazimine, as we mentioned before, clofazimine is a dye. So it will produce a reddish black discoloration of the skin, especially on the exposed part, and there will be a discolored skin, hair and body secretion and acne. Then gastric irritations like nausea, anorexia, abdominal pain, weight loss, enteritis with intermittent loose stool. So these are the different adverse drug reactions of clofazimine. Now the important use of clofazimine is it is used as a component of multi-drug therapy in case of leprosy. So these are included in the multi-drug therapy for the treatment of leprosy. Now coming to next drug, that is anti-tubercular drug rifampicin. We had already discussed this drug in detail in anti-tubercular drugs. Mechanism of action: it will bind with the beta subunit of DNA dependent RNA polymerase, thereby it will inhibit the RNA synthesis, and by inhibiting RNA synthesis they will inhibit the protein synthesis. So there will not be any growth or multiplication of Mycobacterium leprae organism. So it will produce a bactericidal action in both Mycobacterium leprae as well as Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this can be used for the treatment of leprosy as well as tuberculosis, and act best on slowly or intermittent dividing bacteria. Now coming to the pharmacokinetics, this is absorbed well through orally with the bioavailability of 70%, but along with the food there will be a decreasing absorption of rifampicin. So we have to advise the patient that it must be taken in empty stomach. Now coming to the adverse drug reactions of rifampicin, it will mainly produce hepatitis, renal failure and flu syndrome, and the urine and other secretion may become orange or red color. Usually it is harmless. So we have to educate, or we have to advise the patient who are taking rifampicin for both tuberculosis as well as leprosy that this coloration of the urine, orange or red coloration of the urine, is due to the drug rifampicin, and this is harmless, and this will be stopped when that drug is when a drug is taking stopped. So that is the one of the important adverse drug reaction of rifampicin, and it may produce some respiratory syndromes like breathlessness, and then cutaneous syndromes like flushness, pruritus, rashes, redness and watering of eye. Then flu syndromes like with chills, fever, headache, malaise and bone pain, and then abdominal syndromes like nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramp with or without diarrhea. Now this is an enzyme inducer, so it will interact with other drugs which are administered concurrently with the rifampicin. So as this is an enzyme inducer, they will increase the metabolism of the many drugs, and thereby it will decrease the effectiveness of many drugs like warfarin, oral contraceptive pills, corticosteroid, sulfonylurea, HIV protease inhibitors, non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitor, theophylline, metoprolol, fluconazole, ketoconazole, clarithromycin and phenytoin. Now coming to the uses, rifampicin is mainly used for the treatment of TB, tuberculosis, leprosy, meningitis, and along with the doxycycline it is used as a first line treatment or first line drug for the brucellosis, and in combination with the doxycycline it is used for the treatment of diphtheroids as well as legionella infections. Now other anti-tubercular drug which is used for the treatment of leprosy is ethionamide, which is an anti-tubercular drug with a significant anti-leprotic activity. Mechanism of action is this ethionamide will be converted to its active intermediate by Mycobacterium species, and which will this active intermediate will interfere the mycolic acid synthesis. So as we mentioned before, mycolic acid is an important intermediary product which is required for the cell wall synthesis of the Mycobacterium species. So thereby it will inhibit the cell wall synthesis and it will produce cell deficient bacteria, so it will be easily killed by other anti-tubercular drugs or as well as other anti-leprotic drugs. Now coming to the adverse drug reaction, this is purely tolerated and it will cause hepatotoxicity in almost 10% of the patient, and this is mainly used as an alternative to clofazimine, which is used as an anti-leprotic drug. So that is ethionamide. Now other drugs which are used for the treatment of tuberculosis are ofloxacin. This is an fluoroquinolones, and which is an bactericidal to Mycobacterium leprae, and it will act by inhibiting DNA gyrase and DNA topomerase 4 enzyme. Thereby it will inhibit the protein synthesis. And more detail we had discussed about the ofloxacin and other fluoroquinolones in another video of fluoroquinolones. Now minocycline, it is an tetracycline with a high lipophilicity and which will penetrate into the Mycobacterium leprae, and they are active against the Mycobacterium leprae, and they will act by binding with the 30th ribosome of the Mycobacterium leprae, and thereby it will inhibit the protein synthesis in Mycobacterium leprae. Thereby it will inhibit the growth of Mycobacterium leprae organism. Now another anti-leprotic drug which is used is clarithromycin, which is an macrolide antibiotic with significant activity against Mycobacterium leprae, and they will act or they will kill the Mycobacterium leprae by binding with the 50th ribosome of the Mycobacterium leprae. Thereby it will inhibit the protein synthesis. So that is all about the definition, mechanism of action, adverse drug reaction and uses of different anti-leprotic drugs. Hope it is clear. Thank you for watching this video.